What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're at in the world. I'm glad that you're here. So, today I was going to kind of go over just some more random sketching. Someone had asked me what my favorite pencils have been recently for sketching and illustrations, and honestly, I don't have a favorite. I think my go-tos would probably be the Graph Gear 1000 if I had to pick. I got this actually in a little bundle set and got some color lead for these. Just kind of scribbled over here. It's a blue color, but you can buy different color leads. You don't necessarily need the ones that come with these by standard. I have got this Write and Rain pencil. These are like my most random purchases, honestly. I got this from seeing someone use it on TikTok. Being ridiculous, I tracked it down because these are like discontinued. Well, I think the red is, or these might overall be discontinued, honestly, but I had to get these from like Australia or some ridiculous stuff. But you back up leads, and this comes with actually 2 eraser refills. I didn't need this. This wasn't something I need. I have plenty of art supplies, you know, I have plenty of pencils and pens and all that, but it made me happy. So I wanted to get something new. And if you're like me, I need that extra boost of inspiration. And like when I buy new art supplies, it makes me want to draw. That's how I ended up getting like, you know, this traditional little dip pen there. There's no ink with it. You dip it in a physical thing of ink and then you draw with it or write with it. But yeah, so my most recent things I've been toying around with have been this. I gotten this new little LED extender. I felt kind of stupid, honestly. Another thing I didn't need, but I couldn't find my other one. So originally I had bought a set. So here we go. I had the other one in a different room, but I had a separate one completely. Couldn't find it. Bought this set, which were okay. However, they couldn't fit larger pencils like this, so I figured, hey, I'll get this cool looking thing. It's by Staedtler, and it comes with its own eraser that you can twist the top, and it saves me time, but I'll have to bring extra stuff if I'm on the go. But the drawback is full-size pencil. It doesn't quite fit. So you kind of have to wait till it wears down a good amount before you can actually fit it inside of this extender thing. But that's okay. It is cool though, if you do buy the larger lids, it has a little dial here where you can turn. So it shows B, HB, 2B, 3B, 4B in this little window here, just to kind of help you keep track of which one you have in there. But I found, when I'm sketching though, just to get back to the subject here, sketching, I like the zebra Del guards because I can be very heavy-handed sometimes and I break a lot of lead. But it doesn't allow me to draw traditionally like on the side with the pencil. So honestly, if I'm doing like shading, I like going back to the old school, regular old pencils like this. This is a 8B, this is a very dark lead. But if I'm shading, of course you can draw traditionally like this. But a good buddy of mine was telling me, like, you know, try drawing it sideways. So basically you hold it with 2 little fingers and you can kind of get really light marks and get really dark. You just have like a whole different level of control doing it this way. And also your lead doesn't run down. It always keeps like a sharp tip when you draw sideways like that. So this has probably been my favorite for shading. However, if I don't have that with me, I'll just use any old pencil, and then with the assistance of like a blending stump like this, I can get a pretty good variety of shading. So I'll do like cross hatching with the pencil and then go back in with that. I had bought one of these. It's a Super Pro Mecha pencil from Jet Pens. Honestly, because I thought it looked really cool, and again, another purchase that I didn't need, but I wanted to give me, you know, get myself inspired to draw. But then the drawback for me is it just feels really weird in my hand. It's very thick on the bottom here, and then gets super thin. And I didn't have a problem with this early on, but the more I use this thing, it's like It just doesn't feel natural to me. And not that I regret buying it, but it's definitely one that I don't use that often. Like the weight balance is just way off of this pencil. Like it's, yeah, the weight is all towards the front. Other than that, I think those are my main ones. Yeah, for sketching, like I said, any old pencil really. Shading, I like the old school ones. And if I'm doing like full renders, I honestly switch between different pencils. I got this Rotoring pencil, which is another nice pencil to get if you want to add it to your collection. It's kind of a heavy duty pencil. The balance is pretty even. It's pretty, close to the center. However, I did see reviews about it like snapping somewhere near the base. I don't know how people manage to do that, but the drawback with this is the end doesn't retract in like you do with the graph gear. So if I'm drawing, and I want to throw this in the bag and be on the move, you just hit the little button, and then the end piece retracts back into the body, so it keeps it from, breaking or bending. This doesn't have that, so I have to actually drop this, and it's bent before. So I had to get like a pair of pliers and bend it back to be straight, and I can only do that so many times before it's like useless. And then I bought another one of these, same brand. Don't know if I have it near me. Let's see. However, the other one is a thicker one. It's meant for more of the larger leads. I ended up repurposing this pencil, what's it called, little brush pen box, and have it like a little goodie bag kind of thing here. But when I'm doing illustrations for like watercolor, I'll either do like a really light lead using this guy, one of the various sizes of this. For time being, I had used this Pilot Color Enyo pen, which I believe it comes with the blue lead by default. It's a very light blue, and it's meant to, like, when you're scanning your image in, it makes it easier, allegedly, to get rid of the line work. But it's kind of a pain in the butt to erase, honestly. But going over it with like a marker or pen or whatever, it does it really well. It doesn't leave like a weird mark if you're drawing over your line work or your pencils. But good pen for sketching, super light. It's made pretty much entirely out of plastic. You can see where the center is there. It's pretty well balanced. All these are just random purchases I didn't really need to get, but I got anyway. This is a Uni Shift 05, a lot of 05s. And this one is like a little twist lock. So you press down and you turn it. You can kind of hear that. I'll do it one more time. And it locks in place. So the end also retracts in. You just kind of have to untwist the body for that to do it. This one feels pretty balanced in your hand, even though the weight is kind of near the tip there. Comes with this really ugly black eraser. I don't really like these myself, honestly, but I end up using a different one anyway. I'll use, a little portable guy like this. And I think I had just the regular lead that came with this. But I rarely use this one, honestly. This is probably one that I should have held off on getting. I got it because it looked cool. Because of the blue there, and they all come with different colors for the different sizes. This was a lead holder, and this was my go-to for a long time for sketching. So originally it just had like this regular old blue body to it, but the paint was peeling off. So what I ended up doing was wrapping it with black tape, kind of like the same tape you'd wrap your hands if you're boxing. And it felt okay, but even that was kind of starting to like fall apart on me. So then I kind of went over the bottom with this like moldable glue. I think I reviewed that, where you can like, warp it into different shapes, and then after 24 hours it hardens. So this is like a very hard rubber. So I made like a weird kind of square texture only because it's kind of where my thumb lands and I'm holding my pencil. So for me, it felt okay in my hands. And then I got like a little X-Acto knife and shaved it to make that hard edge, basically. So this doesn't actually, you don't click it to extend the lid. You press it once and you'll see the end open up like a little claw hand. And the lid falls out there. So you can sharpen these with their own specific little sharpener that comes with it. Or you get a piece of like sandpaper and kind of go over it like that a couple times. And now I have a sharper tip. So this I feel is good for sketching. And like I was mentioning before, you can get that traditional, I have the darker lid in there right now, but you can get the shading going on sideways like that. So I'm drawing really light. If I press harder, you can get the darker lines and kind of layer it up. But yeah, this had been my go-to for a very long time. It doesn't have an eraser built into this thing, unfortunately. So you do have to use a separate eraser. But this, I think I actually did a review on this before I wrapped it up. So you'd have to look at my previous videos to see what this was. This is another Zebra Delgard. And my little, where'd it go? All these supplies. There it goes. So yeah, this is the same kind of pencil. As you can see, I've had this for a very long time. It's fallen apart quite a bit. I'm missing the cap. It's pretty scuffed up. And the spring on the end, it's not as smooth as the newer one here. But yeah, these are my go-tos for a long time, just because they're so light. And actually, this feels lighter than this. But yeah, very fun to draw with. You should probably have one on your little Christmas list if you haven't got one. And just a regular old Staedtler. This was like an old school pencil I literally used in school for taking notes and sketching, but it works well. Honestly, again, it's not necessarily the tools that you have, it's just how you use them. So I think with that being said, I haven't drawn with this in a while, so I think I'm gonna use this or maybe the twist locks. Yeah, I'll use the twist lock today. Let's do that. And I'm gonna put all this other stuff away. It's so messy. I'll leave this out for later. And I think that is good for now. So close this up. Move this to the side. Okay. So I'm gonna dive into some portrait stuff, put on some music. So you can draw along with me if you want to, or just watch and enjoy. All right.